What up, three times? You already know who it is. It's the one and only homie Chef, aka Wings912 on IG. That's WINGZZ912 on Instagram. You looking at me? We got a shoe review, and this one definitely about to be dope, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in, showing love and support. If it's your first time, please go ahead and hit that subscription button with the notification bell so you can stay tuned and tap it in. Hit the thumbs up, you know what I'm saying? Keep me in the algorithm. Drop a comment. I'm listening and I'm responding. Shout out to the Breakfast Club, the one and only homie, the Goonies, you know what I mean? Squad, the gang, you know what I mean? We got a lot coming up. Definitely want to give a big shout out to Clockwork Savannah and Clockwork Making, you know what I mean? If y'all don't know, the Air Max 95 SBs are coming. And needless to say, our shops was down there on that list on the sneakers app. So, you know what I mean? Salute and shout out to the squad, man. All right, this review today is going to be different because I made sure I really looked at this shoe. I studied it, I looked at it, and I got a little, my brain got to going, you know what I mean? Got a little light bulb going on, and I'm thinking about a couple things, and I was thinking about shoes of the past. Like this shoe just did a lot, you know what I mean? But never mind the small talk. Y'all know how we rock. First thing we do is we start with the box, baby. Look at the blow, look at the blow, look at the blow. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? You know what I mean? And the colors read dark smoke gray, dark smoke gray. Yeah, you know what I mean? I present to y'all Nike Air Max 1 dotSwoosh big head mode. Yeah, it's like that. Oh man. Oof. Uh, y'all already know we get that heel action in. But now that we got them in hand, let's get into them. Available exclusively through dotSwoosh, Nike's Web3 platform, the Nike Air Max 1 Low Poly Big Head Mode pays homage to the classic 1997 Nintendo video game GoldenEye 007 and the cheat code that gives the shoe its name. The mixed material upper takes inspiration from James Bond's signature tuxedo and combines a white mesh base with contrasting overlays in black leather and gray suede. Golden yellow accents referencing the powerful golden gun land on the laces and tongue as well as the mini swoosh that graces the lateral side mud guard. All right, so boom. We all know dotSwoosh was launched not too long ago, and as Nike getting into the digital era of sneakers, you know, came around the time where they had the NFTs and the whole nine, and you know, StockX started doing Nike NFTs, and they were selling them, and Nike had sent them to cease and desist, and then Nike launched dotSwoosh for their own program. dotSwoosh has dropped a good ton of shoes. You know, we had some Air Force Ones, and now they moved on to the Air Max. Now, the first Air Max was the OG, of course, and then you know after that, they moved on to the Tomb Raider. You know, they show love to Tomb Raider. And then they show love to Donkey Kong. And now, with this particular pair of called the Big Head Mode, these are showing love to GoldenEye, 007, Nintendo 64. What a time, man. 95, 96, 97. GoldenEye was the #1 first-person shooter. It changed the game of video games. And needless to say, it was iconic classic. Even to this day, if you drop an N64, 4 controllers, and GoldenEye 007, anybody who's a video game head is definitely hopping on the sticks. And I'm telling you, it's entertainment for hours, man. Like the Golden Gun, the whole nine. Like it was just elite gameplay, you know what I mean, at the moment. And Nike decided to go ahead and give us some love with that, you know. Now, Big Head Mode was a particular mode in the game where, you know, everybody had the swelled heads, and needless to say, you were a bigger target, you know what I mean? And Nike went ahead and honored that. But it's a little twist to this, and we about to get into it. First off, let's talk pros and cons, man. All right, let's go with the shoe. First off, the shoe is incredible. I love the materials on here. All right. We have a nice mid-panel mud guard that is of this black satin, and as you can see, it comes around to the heel. The swoosh here is leather, very, very dope, you know what I'm saying? And then on the tongue, It's almost like a softer type of leather in sense, but it's gold, and it has a grid type of feel to it on top that's kind of imprinted in it, and I really like that. As you can see on the tongue, it has, you know, super digital Nike Air Max, but it was a little bit different than the other tongues. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into that. As you see on the heel, it has Nike Air, but it has it in that golden eye type of font situation with the life and shield. Like, that was a dope little, you know what I mean, tidbit to it. You have the black airbag with the gray midsole, chunky as all outdoors, and then you have that all black outer sole. And this shoe is much different from the other ones. Donkey Kong had the long hair suede, and the Tomb Raiders had a little bit of the shorter suede type feel. You know what I mean? That was similar to the ones that are the OG ones that they dropped. You know what I mean? But, but, there's a twist to this shoe, and I don't know if people spoke on it or a lot of people thought about it, but this ties into an older shoe, and I feel like Nike is kind of giving us a prequel of what they're about to do. This guy here, this is the original, the OG, you know what I mean, dotSwoosh, goes right along with every Air Max 1 in the shape. But big head mode is a little bit different. All right, the first thing that I noticed when I picked this shoe up was the collar and sock liner. On the big head mode, it's a lot thicker and it's a little bit more fluffier, a lot more cushion, kind of like an SB. Then when I got to the tongue, even when it comes to the tongue is much fatter and kind of like an SB. So that got me to thinking, wait a minute. I pre-ordered these 4 months ago. However, the timing just so happened to align that these dropped around the same time that the SB95s are coming. And everybody knows the SB95s definitely got the SB treatment, and we're going to see those in about a week or so. You know, and of course, we're assuming that the collar of the shoe, definitely more padding. Probably, you know, 9 times out of 10, you got a little bit more cushioning in the sole and definitely more cushioning in the tongue. So I was just like, all right, maybe they're trying to tell us something of where they're going. Because if everybody thinks about it, iShotWear's first shoe was the silhouette of an Air Max 1, but it just got some skater treatment, you know what I mean? And a couple things like they rounded out the toe box, and not only that, but the mud guard was a little bit rounded also as well. They changed the airbag in the shoe. But overall basis was an Air Max 1 silhouette. So iShot was like the prequel to it. They had a couple colorways. It was pretty dope. But now that Nike has gone into the Air Max 95 SB, you know what I'm saying? It's only right that they go back to the one that started it all and give that the SB treatment. And I feel like we're well into that. And it's very much so coming. I don't know when, I don't know how, but understand, I'm the first person that's calling it, you know what I'm saying? Because the way that this shoe is sitting, it sits just like a SB Air Max 1. And needless to say, it's incredible, man. I'm totally thoroughly impressed with this, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, multiple materials, mesh, the satin, leather, and suede, you know, and it's hitting, man. You can't even deny this, man. This is one of the greatest execution of shoes, especially when you tie it into a video game. Boom. But then not only that, it's almost like an Easter egg for what Nike is about to go into. I'm sorry, this shoe got me a little bit more than excited, man, and I'm kind of geeked to watch what comes on down the line. You know what I mean, as far as shoes go, man. But right now, with this one, it's definitely going crazy. You know, let's talk about fitting. It is true to size fit. A lot of people who have wider feet are saying that you might have to go up a half a size on all dotSwoosh Air Max 1s, and you know, I can't say I have any issues with that because I have a slim foot, so mine's is fitting right on the money. But do what you will with that information, you know what I'm saying? See if you could go put on a pair of Air Maxes if possible and see how they fit. But like I said, I like to stick to true to size when it comes to Air Max. And I think that even with these, you should do so. As far as resale goes, resale was up. I received mines on Thursday. So I've been kind of watching the market now. It's been dropping, you know what I mean, but the numbers are still up. My size at one point in time was $492, but right now, as we look at them, my size is sitting at a 335. These retail 160 or 170 bucks, and yeah, they're definitely a double. And I really feel like this shoe has no signs of going any lower. I feel like it's going to go up, especially if Nike does what I'm assuming that they're going to do, which is release the Air Max 1 SB. People will have a way to reference back to this. And yeah, I feel like this is just definitely going to be a moon shoe beyond the nostalgia of GoldenEye and, what that represented to just gamers across the board. Um, I don't know what else to say about this. I was excited about getting this shoe. The pictures did it no justice, and you really couldn't tell the materials. But once you get it in hand, this is exquisite, magnificent work of art. I'm sorry, this almost feels like I could put on a tuxedo with this because this gold is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Imagine all black. You know what I mean? Something nice, something dope. You know what I mean? Nice little tuxedo, no lapels, clean bow tie. And you know what I mean? Gold accent, everything. And you come down and you see these on there, that satin, that shine on that satin, man, it's crazy, you know what I mean? But let me go ahead and give y'all one more look before we bring the chefs out, because I mean, yeah, baby, we in there. I don't know what Nike can do to take this any further with these Air Maxes, but I think this might be the one out of all of these releases. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody went crazy for Donkey Kong, rightfully so. Donkey Kong ain't GoldenEye, and the shape is crazy. But when it comes to the Air Max 1 dot swoosh big head mode, aka Golden Eyes, yes, we're getting a 10. Getting a 10, these are classics. This is going to be one of the biggest shoes this year. I feel like this shoe will still somehow, some way end up in my top 10. And more importantly, I feel like this is a moment in sneaker culture or sneaker culture history where we might be seeing the beginning of a new era for Nike SB. They tapped into Jordan a couple years ago. Those shoes definitely are some of the skaters' favorites. And now with the SB 95 coming, who knows? We could be getting the Air Max 1 later. It seems like Nike's trying to branch off and give skaters some of their other silhouettes to go ahead and expand and skate, and you know what I mean, bringing a new horizon to the game. And not only that, but just bringing a new era to shoes. And I'm not mad. So you heard it here first. Wings is giving these a 10. But let me know how you feel, man. Get down in them comments. Let me know. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? What's up? Did you cop? Because these were pre-order and they ran fast. And trust me, a lot of people are hurting now. So talk to me, man. I'm listening. As always, love and appreciate y'all tapping in. Um, we on our way to August, you know what I mean, which is the 8th month. 2025 is literally hauling ass like it got somewhere to be. So please spread love, stay positive. You know what I mean. Keep your family and friends close at all times. You know what I mean. At the end of the day, it's just easy to do that. So lock in, man, and keep everybody tight. You know what I mean. As always, stay hydrated, stay low, stay focused, stay hustling, but more importantly, stay out the way. Mind a business that pays you. I'm just saying. Advice that helps me might help you, you know? And by any means, keep them sneakers clean, yo. You already know the motto. Before you go pay resale, come here and get them details. If we catch you lacking, understand that we snatching. It's not a game. It's not playing. Shorty like kicks like me. What you think I'm gonna do? Be easy.